Hello and welcome to this scientific principles video with electraining. This is all about force on a current carrying conductor. That's quite a mouthful. A better title I think is my subtitle, which is how a motor works, because that's actually what we're going to look at. What is the basic principle behind the operation of a motor? And to do that we're going to think about magnetic fields, because we need magnetic fields for a motor to work. So the first thing to think about is the North Pole, the South Pole, fairly closely positioned so that we get a nice dense magnetic field, or the magnetic flux density is quite high and the lines of flux are flowing north to south. So there's what we call our main magnetic field. But now I want you to think about a conductor, and the conductor has current flowing in it, and the symbol for that is the cross in the circle, so we know that the current is flowing away from us because it's a cross, and it's also showing in that diagram the lines of flux, the magnetic field around the conductor will flow in a clockwise direction. So we've got two magnetic fields we're looking at. We've got the main magnetic field with the north and the south pole, and we've got a magnetic field around the conductor. What we're going to do is we're going to combine them, we're going to put them together and see what effect they have on each other. And this is what will happen. If we put the conductor, while it's carrying current, in the middle of the main magnetic field, it will have the effect of pushing, there'll be a force, a magnetic force, will push the conductor, in this case, downwards. So why is that? Well, we're going to try and explain that now. I quite like the analogy of a whirlpool in a river. It's not perfect, but it gives us a little bit of an idea of what's going on here. You see, in a river, where there is a whirlpool, the water spins around and around, and as the main flow of the river reaches the whirlpool, some of that water gets caught up in the whirlpool, but most of it still ends up, or perhaps all of it, still ends up flowing down the river and past the whirlpool, but it is affected by it. In a similar way, the magnetic fields are going to affect each other. In our diagram here, we've got the main magnetic field north to south, and we've got the magnetic field around the conductor, which is clockwise, and it's as if the lines of flux get caught up, the main magnetic field lines of flux get caught up momentarily in the magnetic field of the conductor, and they follow that same pattern, so that they begin to go clockwise almost, but then they still actually find their way to the South Pole. So they don't go completely clockwise, they just get caught up in that same direction. And all the lines of flux in the main magnetic field will follow this same pattern. They'll go above the conductor as they're affected by the magnetic field of the conductor, and they'll still reach the South Pole. This means that we've now got a concentration of magnetic field, the main magnetic field, above the conductor. It's interacting with the magnetic field around the conductor, and in fact both the magnetic fields are effectively going the same way. They're going from one side to the other and clockwise, and those two magnetic fields oppose each other because they're similar magnetic fields, and so they actually create a pushing effect. So the main magnetic field will push the magnetic field around the conductor, which will have the effect of physically pushing the conductor itself downwards. Now we're going to see what happens if we were to change the direction of the current. So the direction of the current inside the conductor, if we reverse that, what effect is that going to have? And the answer is it will cause the motion of the conductor, the movement will be in the opposite direction. So this time the conductor will be forced upwards. If we just think about what's going on here. So in the diagram on the left, this is the original diagram we looked at, a main magnetic field north to south, and with a conductor with current going away from us, the effect is that it pushes the conductor downwards. The two magnetic fields repel each other and the conductor moves downwards. So in the diagram on the right, we've still got the main magnetic field north to south, that hasn't changed, but what's changed is the direction of the current in the conductor is now flowing towards us, hence the dot in the circle, and that has the effect of pushing the lines of flux in the main magnetic field underneath the conductor before they reach the south pole. Again, it's like they're caught up in the magnetic field, which is an anti-clockwise direction, and it forces all the lines of flux underneath the conductor. So we've now got a concentration of magnetic field under the conductor, and that will repel the magnetic field which is anti-clockwise around the conductor, and that repulsion will force physically the conductor itself to move upwards. Okay, so we've seen that changing the direction of the current in the conductor will actually change the direction that the force is applied to it, and it will change the way it moves. This time we're going to look at what happens if we change the direction of the main flux, the main magnetic field. So we originally were looking at a diagram with the North Pole on the left, the South Pole on the right, with current in the conductor flowing away from us, and that resulted in the magnetic fields pushing the conductor downwards. And now we're going to look at what happens if we reverse the magnetic field, the main magnetic field. So this time we've got the North Pole on the right, the South Pole on the left. So the lines of flux will flow from north to south, but because of the magnetic field around the conductor, the magnetic field is clockwise, that's going to cause the lines of flux in the main field to get caught up in that direction before they get across and reach the South Pole. And so we've got a concentration of magnetic field underneath the conductor, and that will repel the magnetic field around the conductor, forcing the conductor itself, our wire, to move upwards. And that means that we've changed the direction of the main flux, and we've changed the direction of the movement. So what we've hopefully seen in this video is that you can apply a force to a conductor to make it move by having that conductor within a magnetic field and passing current through the conductor. It will move. Now the direction it will move will depend on, one thing is the direction that the current is flowing in the conductor, but the other thing, as we've seen, is the direction of the main magnetic field. So if we change any of those factors, it changes the direction that the conductor will move. Now that is the basic introduction to how we get a force applied to a current carrying conductor, and in a motor that's actually what's going on. In its simplest terms, we're applying a magnetic force that's repelling another magnetic force and creating movement. I hope that's some help, but we'll develop this a little bit further in the next video.